Elvis Presley was never truly alone, at least, that's what people believed. There were always voices around him, fans, friends, staff, applause. But in his final years, something quietly disappeared. Not fame. Not money. Something far more human. In the last years of his life, Elvis lived surrounded by people, yet deeply disconnected from them. Graceland was never empty. But the rooms felt silent. People came and went every day. Staff members, visitors, familiar faces. Yet the house never felt alive. Conversations became shorter. Eye contact became rare. The man who once moved crowds with his voice began to withdraw from everyone around him. Not because he wanted to be alone, but because he didn't know how to explain what he was feeling. Elvis had spent his entire life being watched. Every move analyzed. Every word repeated. From a young age, he learned how to perform. How to smile. How to wave. How to be what people expected. So when something inside him began to break, he didn't know how to speak about it. There was no script for that. His days followed a quiet routine. Late mornings. Slow afternoons. Sometimes he would sit alone for hours, listening to music, or simply staring into space. Not thinking about fame. Not thinking about money. Just feeling tired. The kind of tiredness that sleep doesn't fix. He smiled when people expected a smile. He waved when people expected a wave. But behind closed doors, the silence grew heavier every night. Loneliness doesn't always come from having no one around. Sometimes it comes from being surrounded by people who only see a version of you that no longer exists. Those closest to Elvis noticed the change. He became distant, more guarded, more tired. He spoke less. He shared less. But Elvis rarely asked for help. Not because he didn't need it, but because he didn't want to disappoint anyone. The world still wanted Elvis Presley, the icon, the legend, the name. Not the man behind it. And slowly, that distance became permanent. Many people experience this kind of loneliness. Not the loud kind, but the quiet kind that appears when life slows down. When the world expects you to stay the same, even though you are changing inside. It happens to people who gave everything to others. Parents, artists, caregivers. People who were strong for too long. Elvis was not the only one who felt this way. He was simply one of the few whose loneliness was never truly seen. In his final years, Elvis spent more time alone than ever before. Not always physically alone, but emotionally unreachable. He was present, yet somewhere far away. The applause had faded, but the expectations never did. And carrying that weight, day after day, quietly changed him. When the end came, it wasn't loud. It didn't come with applause. It was quiet. Just like the loneliness he had carried for years. Elvis Presley died as one of the most famous people in history. But fame could not protect him from the most human feeling of all. Being alone.